A poor boy starts stealing just to survive. But nobody asks what it takes to push a boy to that point. Nobody asks how many times a child can be ignored before he stops expecting love. My name is Patience. Welcome to Etanalog. Kingsley did not become strong. He became used to pain. It started when his mother died. He was still small. He didn't even understand why people stopped saying her name in the house. After that, everything changed. His uncle and auntie took him in. At first, it looked like help. But inside that house, Kingsley was not treated like a son. He was treated like something that belonged outside the family. He watched their children go to school every morning. Clean clothes, school bags, food packed for lunch. Even the baby in the house was carried with care. But Kingsley's own life was different. He cleaned the house. He fetched water. He ran errands. And when he made mistakes, he was shouted at like he didn't belong there. No one asked how he felt. No one asked what he needed. And slowly, Kingsley learned something dangerous. He learned to stay quiet, not because he was fine, but because speaking changed nothing. Years passed like that. Kingsley finished secondary school. That was it. No university, no training, no real plan for him. Just more work inside a house that never felt like home. Then one day, he turned 18, and everything ended. His uncle called him inside. He didn't sit him down like family. He didn't explain anything. He just spoke like a landlord talking to someone leaving his house. You are a man now. Take this money and go and start your life. He placed 30,000 naira in his hand. Kingsley looked at it for a long time. Not because it was small or big, but because it felt like the first time someone officially told him, "You are on your own." That night, he left. No celebration. No goodbye that meant anything. Just a boy walking out of a place that raised him without ever loving him. At first, Kingsley tried. He really tried. He told himself he would not fail. He would start something small. He would survive. But life did not agree. Every idea needed money he didn't have. Every job needed connection he didn't have. Every door he knocked on stayed closed. Even begging did not save him. People passed him like he was part of the street. At the end of one day, he had 150 naira. That was all. He sat down and looked at it for a long time. Not angry, not loud, just tired. Because for the first time in his life, Kingsley understood something clearly. Hard work does not matter when nobody opens the door for you. That night, he walked through the street slowly. Hungry, weak, thinking less like a boy and more like someone the world had already finished writing off. And in that silence, one thought started forming. Not loud, not sudden, just slow, dangerous, and real. Because when survival keeps failing a person long enough, even good people start thinking like broken ones. And that was the beginning of a change. Not because Kingsley wanted to steal, but because life kept removing every other option. Kingsley did not sleep well that night. Not because he had a plan, but because his body refused to rest. Hunger kept waking him up. The kind of hunger that does not wait for morning. He sat inside an old unfinished building where he usually stayed. Cold cement, dark corners, quiet air. That was his new home. He held his small black bag close to him. Inside it was almost nothing. Just a few things, and a little money that was already disappearing. He knew one thing clearly now. If nothing changed soon, he would collapse. Not dramatically, just slowly disappear from life. The next morning, he started walking again. Same streets, same search, same rejection. He asked for small jobs. People looked at him and shook their heads. Some did not even answer him. He tried loading goods. No space. He tried helping traders. No need. He tried everything that looked possible. Nothing stayed. By afternoon, he already felt weak again. His stomach was empty. His head was heavy. But he kept walking. Because stopping meant thinking. And thinking hurt more than hunger. That was when he saw it. A large compound. Metal gate. Noise from inside. Men moving in and out. Big freezers. Big machines. Ice block business. Kingsley stopped. He did not understand everything at first. But he saw one thing clearly. People were working inside. Machines were producing ice blocks. And small metal parts were everywhere. Valves. Fittings. Small pieces that held the machines together. He watched quietly. Then he left. but something stayed in his mind. That night, Kingsley did not sleep early. He kept thinking, not about stealing, but about survival, about hunger, about rejection, about the fact that nobody was coming for him. Slowly, the thought formed. Not fast, not emotional, just simple. If he could take small parts, maybe he could sell them. Maybe he could survive a little longer. He told himself it was just once. Just to stand again. Just to breathe. Nothing more. The first time he went back, his hands were shaking. He waited until it was late. When the place became quiet, when most workers had left, he watched carefully from a distance. Then he moved slowly inside. He took one small part. His heart was beating fast. Too fast. He left quickly. No one saw him. That night he sold it and got money. For the first time in days, he ate properly. But he did not feel happy. He felt scared. The second time was easier. Not because it was right, but because fear reduces when nothing bad happens immediately. He went again. Same place. Different night. Another small part. Again he escaped. The third time, someone almost saw him. He ran. Did not even look back. He stayed hidden for a long time that night. His breathing was heavy. But again, nothing happened. The fourth time, he was more careful. He learned timing. He learned when workers were less. He learned where people rarely looked. He took another part, sold it again. The fifth time, things changed slightly. One of the workers noticed something missing earlier that day. People started talking inside the compound. There was suspicion now, but nobody knew who. Kingsley still went, still took one more part, still escaped. But this time, he felt something different. Like the place was starting to notice him. Like eyes were slowly opening. By now, Kingsley was not wasting the money. He was not living well. He was surviving, eating small food, sleeping in the same unfinished building, and saving small amounts. In his mind, he had a plan. Just one more time. One final time. After that, he would stop. He would use the money. Start something small. Maybe leave the city. Start again. He kept telling himself that. Again and again. The sixth time, he went back. But this time, it was not the same. He did not know it yet. But they were waiting. Not openly. Not loudly. But quietly. The workers had been losing too much. The machines were suffering. Production was slowing down. Mr. Johnson had already been shouting at them for days. So they were careful now. Very careful. Kingsley entered slowly. His chest was tight. Something felt wrong. But hunger and habit pushed him forward. He moved closer to where the parts were kept. His hands reached out, and just as he touched one, a voice cut through the silence. Hold him! Everything changed immediately. People rushed in from different sides. Kingsley froze for half a second, then ran. Hard. Fast. Not thinking. Just survival. Footsteps followed him. Voices shouting. Stop him! He is the one! Kingsley ran through a narrow path behind the building. His breathing was breaking. His legs were shaking. But he kept going, because stopping meant ending. He turned into another route, but it was blocked. 2 workers were there. They grabbed him immediately. He tried to push away, but more people arrived, and then it became chaos. He fell to the ground. Hands everywhere. Shouting everywhere. Pain everywhere. Kingsley curled up instinctively, trying to protect himself. But it did not stop. The anger was too much. Too built up. Too long. A vehicle stopped nearby. Mr. Johnson had just arrived. He stepped out slowly, and the moment he saw what was happening, his face changed. What is going on here? He shouted. One worker answered quickly. This is him. The thief. Mr. Johnson looked at Kingsley on the ground, then back at them. You are beating him like this because of what? Sir, he has been stealing from us. Mr. Johnson's voice rose. So you want to kill him? Nobody answered. The workers were still angry, still breathing hard. Mr. Johnson stepped closer. He was not calm. He was angry, very angry, but controlled enough to stop it from going further. Then he saw something. The boy was not standing, not fighting, not resisting anymore, just broken, and still breathing. Barely. That was when another car stopped. A woman stepped out, Mr. Johnson's wife. She saw the scene and froze for a moment. Then she walked quickly forward. What are you doing? she asked. Mr. Johnson turned to her immediately. This boy has been stealing from me. She looked at Kingsley, then at the workers, then back at her husband. Are you going to kill him because of that? Mr. Johnson snapped. He has caused losses in my business. Her voice became firmer. Then make him work. Do not kill him. Silence. The workers were still angry, but the situation was changing. Slowly, Mr. Johnson stood there for a long time, looking at Kingsley, then at the money the situation had already cost him. Finally, he spoke. Bring him up. Kingsley was pulled up slowly. He could barely stand. Mr. Johnson stepped closer. Do you have money to pay me back? Kingsley did not speak at first. His whole body was shaking. Then slowly, he reached into his small black bag. He handed over everything he had saved. All of it. Mr. Johnson counted it. It was not enough. Not even close. He looked at Kingsley again. Long silence. Then finally he said, You will work for me. Kingsley did not respond. He could not even nod properly. He just stood there, tired, broken, still breathing. And that was how everything changed again. Not into freedom, not into safety, but into something new, something uncertain, something that would decide what Kingsley becomes next. I know many of you would never want to find yourself in a situation like this. But sometimes life is complicated, and the choices people make around us, and the choices we make ourselves, can change everything in ways we never planned. Maybe Kingsley made mistakes. Maybe life also failed him in many ways too. But at the end, what do I know anyway? By the way, thank you for watching this story. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like. Share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more.